All right, it's the 1st of July 2025, and it's come to my attention that some of you are still watching my best free perks video that was released in October of 2023. I can't believe how long ago it was that I released that video, but we've got an updated one today. Since then, the game has changed loads, had loads of updates, loads of new maps, and you can now go into a map with 5 perks, which means that that video is basically redundant. In terms of what I said was the top 3 perks back then, only one of them I am going to consider a top perk. Everything else is going to be new. So back then we said that the commander mode was one of my top perks, along with elite warriors and also health potions. Now, when you only had 3 perks, again, even back then, I was sort of leaning into a troop focused build. I'm going to give you a spoiler, that's no different today in the top 5 perks. Elite warriors and health potions actually had a nerf since the update, or at least the version of the game that I played back then to now. It's been completely changed. So health potions and elite warriors, although they are kind of all right, they are definitely not top 5 material. But we are going to keep commander mode in there. So the reason why we put commander mode in there is because a 40% damage increase across all of your units and buildings it's massive. It's a passive, it's huge. Yes, you lose 60% damage, but to be honest, I don't really play Thronefall with buffing me as the main character. So even though there are definitely some builds I'm sure that are out there, and there are some strategies that I've tried, you're just one character, right? So my theory is that if you're just buffing one character, you are not going to outperform like the rest of your base. And some of the bigger maps, you just can't be everywhere on the map. So when you're doing harder mutation runs, you need to pack a much more bigger punch, and I just don't think that the character necessarily does that. I feel like it has to be either the units or the buildings, but I think the units just edge out on top for me, and they seem to be what I'm having the most success. So look, I encourage you to have your own opinion. This is just mine. Let's go through what the top 5 perks are. So we've already said commander mode. The next perk that I am going to say is the next best perk is Gladiator School. So Gladiator School trains your unit 75% faster, and it has a reservist that spawns instantly once the first unit from that barrack dies. So as soon as one unit dies, another unit will just come out straight away and return back to the position where you told it to go. Also, because it's 75% faster, it will start to regenerate for the next unit to come out should they die as well. So it's an incredible perk on its own. I think it does serve a really good purpose. You can use it on its own, and it's a great perk. It's probably one of my go-tos, but it becomes SSS plus tier when you combine it with experience gain, which is going to be our 3rd perk. So experience gain, whenever any of your units respawns at its training facility, it gets 6% plus attack damage and health for the rest of the night. The effect can stack within that night. This is huge for the bigger maps. When your units are just going to keep dying, they're going to keep coming back, that will stack up so quickly. You pair it with Gladiator School, they're going to keep coming out really, really quickly. And trust me, this effect makes a massive difference, and you really, really can benefit. There are some maps where you might not benefit it as much because maybe the barracks is exposed, or you don't get 4 barracks, or because the units don't have that far to travel. But overall, this is huge, and its stock just goes up if the map kind of supports further travel from the barracks to whatever your defending points are. I find that this perk combination, they're just incredible, and I pretty much always take them. Next up, this is kind of a bit of a cheat. I'm going to combine these. You can call it a bonus perk if you like, but Pristine Warriors and Pristine Archers are essentially the same thing, and you can interchange between them. But melee units are twice as expensive, but they deal 75% more damage and 75% more health, and obviously respectively that's the same for the Archers, which is great. I lean more into Pristine Warriors. I think Pristine Warriors with Berserks just kind of comes out a little bit on top, but I can absolutely see a case for Archers, and I have used it. You could combine both perks, but you are going to put yourself in a very, very financial deficit because of that additional cost. But I think if you just go for Warriors, Pristine Warriors with the Berserks in the background, and you've got the Archers supporting them. Honestly, they'll do a great job. Combine that with Gladiator, combine that with experience gain. They're going to keep coming back. They're going to come back stronger, and they're just going to be absolute tanks. Jump into the battle. They're going to get into the battle quicker as well when they respawn, because they'll do that leap as soon as they see an enemy. This is incredible, and you can see the kind of synergy that we're going for here. Finally, my last perk is going to be interest. So at the beginning of each night, you gain 1 gold for every 3 gold that you have left in your chest, rounded up, but never more than 20. So this is really, really easy to build up, especially if you take those strong melee units at the start. You throw in the melee units, and you kind of use them to carry you through those early waves while you build up the interest. This perk is huge. It's way better, in my opinion, than any of the other gold perks, minus maybe houses, but I don't think that they're going to edge out interest. It's just 1 perk. It works. It does a lot on its own. It definitely deserves to be in the top 5. There is an argument that you could pair it with loan, so you get that additional extra gold straight off the bat. Obviously, you will lose 10 gold, so technically you're at a -3, but the interest will counteract that, especially if you can build it up really quickly. So you could combine those two. I've done that a few times, but just interest on its own is incredible. So look, they're my 5 perks: Commander Mode, Gladiator School, interest, experience gain, and Pristine Warriors. Absolute best 5 perks in my humble opinion. Had the most success with them. Let me know if you've tried them out. If you haven't tried them out, then let me know if you do and what you think of them. If you're doing something different and that's working for you, do let me know. I definitely read the comments. I will reply back. I'm interested to know. And just let me know whether you agree or disagree. As always, this video was sponsored by absolutely nobody, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. See ya.